An overview of the Office of Digital Transformation. As I mentioned earlier, we have 3 units. The one that I'm responsible for is called the Business Process and User Experience Unit. The other 2 are the Information Technology Infrastructure and Information Security Unit and our Solutions Development and Research Unit. So, in layman terms, the last unit, Solutions Development and Research, they are responsible for the design and the maintenance of the code that runs our platforms. So, and when we get to those platforms, I'll give you a little bit more about how that works. And then the unit responsible for our computer labs and the infrastructure that we use, the printers, the computers, that's the Information Technology Infrastructure and Security Unit. And then again, the unit Business Process and User Experience, we are a front-facing unit. We take care of your issues with the registration platform, with your emails, with your learning platform, and so forth. All right. Now, the first platform that we would like to sensitize you on, you have already been experiencing or using that platform, which is a student registration or student record system. And we affectionately refer to it as the SRS. This is throughout your life as a CMU student, and even after you've graduated, this platform will hold records of that journey. So your grades, the courses that you sat, whenever you had a disciplinary hold, an academic hold, a financial hold, all of these information will be present on the platform for you to view. Additionally, you will be able to make requests from the registrar to produce student-related documents such as status letters, transcripts, examination cards, and this platform is accessible anytime, anywhere. We have a little bit of downtime, and that's for maintenance and such. Otherwise, you are able to access whether on campus or off campus. Now, in navigating this SRS platform, some key things to note would be the navigation bar, as you can see, which is on the left-hand side of the screen. And you are able to look at information such as the courses that you have selected, your grades that have been released, but more importantly, you're also able to pre-register for your upcoming semesters. And that means you're able to select the classes and the streams that you will be taking for your upcoming semester. In orange, down at the base on the navigation bar, is where you can see the ability to make requests through the system. So we're speaking about document requests, or if you're going to apply for graduation or a transcript request and that kind of stuff. If you look to the right, top right-hand corner, what you will see there is information that is specific to you, the student. So your ID number, which faculty, which program, which department, and what type of student you are, whether you are a part-time student or a full-time student. And if there were messages regarding your registration status, financial/academic clearance, these will also populate in the message bar. Now, if you're going to explore your student profile, which means you want to access your information, personal detail, your registration details. If you look on the screen, what you will see is a tab that shows all the available information on your student profile. And this is information that we would have gathered from you during the registration process. And so as you can see, one of the tabs is your personal details, where we would have the TRN number, your email address, which is the email address that you would use to sign up when you're applying for CMU. But there's a lot of other stuff. And as you can see, you have health information, which relates to your health card, academic clearance. The one that the arrow is pointing to is registration details. Somebody have your mic open. If you could close your mic, please. Thank you so much. And if you look at the registration details, which we will examine in greater detail, give me a second. Let me just identify voices. Somebody's mic was open. I'm just checking if it is closed now. All right, so let's continue. What you can see on the screen with the registration details, once we have clicked into that tab, is that you will be able to look at your pre-registration records, and that will tell you the program again, what year it is, what semester it is, and most importantly, whether you have full or partial or conditional clearance to proceed for that semester. And so when it comes on to semester 2, or before semester 2 starts, rather, you will have to go through the process of coming to the SRS platform and registering for those second semester courses. And every semester we will go through this process to select the courses via your registration tab. Now, once you've taken care of your registration, which is done at the beginning of the semester, for the most part, your interaction with the SRS platform will be limited to making requests for documents or checking on a group. The other platform that you will be spending a lot of time on is the e-learning platform, which we will now look at next. Our e-learning platform has been developed from a base application, which we call Moodle. And Moodle has been around for a very long time. They have been doing LMS, which is Learning Management Systems, and VLEs, which are Virtual Learning Environments, for quite a while. And they are what most universities use in the background and then configure with beautiful images of the school, and they fine-tune it to make it seem as if it is a unique, customizable application. But this is what a majority of the universities use. It is perfect for our learning style and our teaching learning environment. And so let me just bring you through how this platform works. In this space, you will be interacting with your teachers, content that the teachers provide, and content will range from resources such as videos, links to websites, books. It goes even further where you'll be engaging in assessments, quizzes, submission of work that you have done would be done via this platform. Excuse me, you have your microphone open. If you do, could you kindly close it, please? All right, so the Moodle platform is very easy to use in comparison to the other existing learning management platforms that there are. And if you went to school during COVID, which I'm going to assume that you did, well, most of us did, but if you went to school during COVID, you would have already had some amount of interaction with a learning management platform. And ours allows you to do multiple stuff. One, you are able to work asynchronously, which means you can work outside of your teacher's direct interaction. So you're able to do work outside of class time. If you are a part-time student, then you will be having your lectures virtually, and the link to said lectures will be posted in your course on the Moodle platform. And so let's take a look at what the platform looks like once you've logged in. In the top left-hand corner, if it hasn't already dropped down for you, we have the navigation bar. This navigation bar, 3 lines, top left-hand corner, as you can see where the arrow is pointing now. And if you were to press on it, what would happen is it would pull down a list of all the available features for you within your dashboard. So what would that look like? Well, it would depict your calendar. It will show you a link to whatever private files you may have uploaded or a teacher may have sent you. But it will also show you a listing of all your courses as well. And this is from the dashboard. So immediately when you log in, this is what you're going to be seeing. And if you look closely, the first block at the top has recently accessed courses. Your course will not populate here if it is the first time that you're accessing the course. But if you look below that block, you will see course overview. And this is where we have a listing of all the different courses that you have been assigned to. So the very same courses that you would have picked on the SRS, the Student Record System, those courses will be populated on the Moodle platform once and only once you have completed your registration process. So students may ask, Mr. Lee, I've registered, but I can't see my courses on the Moodle platform. That means you thought you have completed the registration process, but you haven't. There's an automatic synchronization between your completion of registration and you being granted access to your courses. Now, when you click on a course, the navigation bar will change. The navigation bar will not show you the list of courses alone, but it will also show you the plethora of activities, resources, whatever assignments, files, those will be populated in the navigation bar as well as on your screen. And so it's simply just scrolling through. Now, teachers will have different learning styles, and so they may restrict your access to some material until you have done another. But irrespective of their approach to the teaching and learning experience, what I can tell you is that the use of this LMS to support each and every course will benefit you tremendously. Now, the school has asked that every single course be represented and supported with an online presence, and that all assessments, assignments, graded work, all content be delivered to the students through this platform. What does that mean? While you are able to send your teacher an email regarding some issue that you might have, your teacher is not allowed to accept assignments from you via email. The assignments must be uploaded in this space. And once it is uploaded, we have a plagiarism tracker, which you can use, not just the teachers, you have the ability to use that tracker as well to test your assignment for vulnerabilities, for plagiarism, for AI-generated content. And so we have a lot of other supporting information for the learning management platform as well as the student records platform. And we will send that out through the communication channels that marketing department will provide us. So let's stay tuned and look out for that. The 2 final things that I'd want to address before we open the floor for you to ask questions is 1, if you have issues or questions or concerns regarding these systems, what would you do? We have a centralized help desk, and you can access that help desk by emailing. However, we prefer, and it would be better for you as well, if instead of emailing the specific department, you visit our help desk portal. Our help desk portal, help@cmu.edu.jm, and it looks like this. Now, you're able to create a ticket, you're able to view your tickets, and you're also able to search for help to resolve whatever issues that you have. And we suggest that you read the knowledge base, which is basically our FAQs. So let's give an example. A student has forgotten their password and does not know what to do. Upon accessing this CMU help desk portal, by typing password reset in the search for articles, it will generate ODT's guide for every student on how to reset their password step by step. If it is something that you search the knowledge base and you're unable to find any articles that offers the right resolution for you, then you can go ahead and create a ticket. And in submitting a ticket, you're going to be required to input your name and email address so that we're able to contact you. And once you've created that ticket, you will be given a ticket ID. That ticket ID can then be used to track your ticket to see the status or the progress of your ticket. Where is it? Which department it is with? How long before it is resolved, or if there are any changes to the status or any replies from the individual working on your ticket. And so this portal is essential for students if they want to receive help. It's not necessary for you to visit the ODT or visit many other offices. You can use this channel to find the information and to assist yourself if you cannot, or if you're unable to, or the resources aren't there that allow you to do so, then create a ticket and we'll be more than happy to assist. And the final thing that I'd like to speak about is your emails. So as a CMU student, you'll be given a CMU email address. The CMU email address normally takes the form of the following, or the following template. It has your initial for your first name, the entirety of your last name. If your last name and the initial has been used before, then a numbering sequence will follow that. So for example, one would expect John Brown would be a common name. And so the very first person who came to CMU, his email address as a student would have been jbrown@stu.cmu.edu.jm. Now, the second person who comes to CMU might be named James Brown or Jordan Brown, which still would result in the J Brown as the username or email address. And so there would be a numbering sequence to say 001 or 002@stu.cmu.edu.jm. This would have been issued to you when you've been given your documents upon successful registration and completion of the required processes. What we would want you to do is to visit Gmail. So you go to our webpage and you type in gmail.com, it comes up. You would input your username/email address, and that's the school given one, so @cmu.edu.jm. And the default password would also be issued to you, which is the capital S, common S, and your date of birth. Now, you would be prompted to change these email addresses, the passwords for this email address immediately, and you should do so. This channel, this email account, is the only email account that CMU is allowed to communicate with you through. So we need you to put it on your phone, just like how you have your IG, Snapchat, TikTok, and all the other apps. We need the school email account on your phone as well. So you can be notified whenever there are changes, updates to your ticket status, or just normal school information, or whenever the registrar or any department needs to contact you. And so we have covered the SRS, which you predominantly use at the beginning and at the end of the semester, or at the start and the end of the academic year. We covered, or we looked briefly at the learning management platform, which is called Moodle, which you would use throughout the course of your semester / academic year / academic journey, from small or from micro to macro. And we also looked at the help desk, which will offer us insights on issues that we may have. And if we can't get the insights through the knowledge base or the articles and the FAQs that exist in the centralized space, then we will create a ticket as a student, and whichever department, registry, academics, treasury, ODT, whichever department it is, we will receive that ticket and we'll be able to respond to you, and you'll be able to be updated accordingly. And so when you're signing up a ticket or creating a ticket, you may want to use your school email address. And then finally, we looked at the email addresses and how we would access them and how we would create accounts. So on behalf of ODT and the rest of my team, I'd like to thank you all very much for your time and for your partaking in our presentations. We will open the floor for you now, and I'll just stop sharing my screen. Over to you, Ms. Smith. If you're speaking, your mic is muted.
Thank you so much, Mr. Lee. Thank you for that presentation. All right, students, it is now your turn to ask your questions. You can either ask them in the chat. Some of our representatives are also in the chat answering the questions, but you can also raise your hands and we will get to you. All right, so Ashley Miles, you can go ahead with your question.
Hello, good morning. Are you guys hearing me properly?
Yes, I'm hearing you.
Okay, so I wanted to ask, how do I go about changing my course? Like when I was signing up, I selected customs, but I actually wanted to do logistics. So how do I go about doing that?
Okay, let me check. Am I muted? Okay, I'm not. Perfect. So that's an excellent question. When you were signing up, you did so via the student records platform, the student records
answer this
system.
one, Mr. Lee.
Sure.
All right, good. It's morning now. Yeah, good morning. All right, so to answer your question, right? What you need to do is where in the application process you are. Did you pre-register?
I'm fully accepted. I already registered.
Okay. All right. So what you have to do now is to just write to us to let us know that you want a transfer. We will send a transfer form to you for you to make that transfer to the program. So just email us, and then we will send the form to you. You have to fill out the form, and then you send back that transfer form to us so that we can make that transfer for you.
Okay, what email is that?
It's apply@cmu.edu.jm or register at cmu.edu.jm. And send it to any one of those.
Great. Could you repeat the first one for me, please?
Apply@cmu.edu.jm.
One of our colleagues has also placed the email address in the chat, so you could just copy it from there as well.
Okay, thank you, guys.
All right, thank you, Mr. Lee and Mr. Marriott. Shireen Taylor, you can go ahead with your question.
Right, good morning.
Good morning.
I was given the email address because I did the registration through the pre-registration period, and I was given the email address. However, when I try to add it to Gmail, it says that the email address cannot be found. So I don't know how to rectify that. I am not sure if after I make the payment, if it will allow me to do so.
Right. So you tried to access the email address that we just mentioned a short while ago, right?
Yes, sir.
Right. So you would have to give that some time for the creation of those accounts to be completed. All right.
Yes, sir. Noted. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much. Any other questions, comments? Now is the time to ask all of your questions and your comments. I see Mary Anglin. You can go ahead with your question.
Good morning, Miss. How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm doing well. This is a mother. This is Mary's mother. I have
Okay.
been on both meeting both yesterday and today, and I haven't heard anything much about the Port Royal campus and also about transportation. Can you give me some information, please?
Information as it relates to what exactly?
Tran-
What about the campus?
Transportation.
Mhm.
Transportation there.
Transportation to and from the main
Yes,
campus.
please. No, the Port Royal
Transportation
campus.
to the Port Royal campus from
Yes,
where?
ma'am. She'll be staying in Mountain View,
Mhm.
right? And so where would be the ideal location that she can get the bus on? Because we don't know much about Kingston like that, please.
All right, no problem.
But we
I
will
see
learn as we
our
go along.
no problem. VP Walker, your hand is up. Do you want to take that question?
Actually, I was going to give some other information, but I know Mrs. Walker Brown is in the meeting as well. But
Right.
for students who are taking public transportation, we have an arrangement with JUTC. So if it is that the student lives on Mountain View, they can journey to Halfway Tree, take a bus, come to Halfway Tree, the 98, 99, 97 bus, come to Harborview, and at Harborview, they can get the CMU shuttle from the roundabout to come to campus. Now, if it is that the student is late and misses the shuttle, there are several taxis that operate in the Harborview area that can transport the students to the different campuses, or they can seek to get the 98 from downtown or from off Winard Road that goes directly to Port Royal. So they can use that bus to journey to the university as well. So there are several options. Now, if it is that more information is needed on transportation, all of that information will be provided at orientation. And we also recommend that potential students ask questions when they come to registration. So I hope that that information was helpful for the mom.
Yes, thank you very much, teacher. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. The information that I wanted to give had to do with a question that a student typed in the chat regarding registration and asking if it is that they need to be fully accepted to be registered. So for the group, the answer is yes. If you have not received a full acceptance to the university as yet, you cannot register. Now we understand that we have students who are awaiting CSEC results. So once your results come, I mean, I know a lot of you are antsy right now. You can send the information to us so that we can access it from the CSEC website. You can send the results to us. If it is that you're sending the results to us, please take a full picture of the information. Don't just send your name and a number. You need to send the entire thing. We need to see your name. We need the center number. We need all of that information. In order to help us out or to help you out, it would be good if you can email all of that information to us and we can go on the CXC website and get it. or you can wait until CXC sends it to us. I know that some students can't wait, so they will send the information to us. We have no challenge because we have teams standing by to do that. Once you are cleared, once we see that you meet the requirements, considering that you were given a provisional acceptance, once we see that you meet the subject requirements for your programs of choice, then we will issue you your acceptance, same time, same day. Everything comes to you electronically, and the information on how to register will also be made available to you. All right. Now, if it is that you know you have sent in your application and you have not heard anything from us, it may be wise to drop us a line at apply@cmu.edu.jm, because what we are understanding sometimes is that the students are waiting for a response when your applications are still in draft. And if your applications on the system are still in draft, it means that it has not gotten to us. So if you know that you're a student who has sent in an application and you have not heard anything, please log back onto the system and check where in the system you are, because you are able to track your application. If it is that you see that you are at draft, it means that you need to submit the application to us. Unless it is submitted, we cannot process it. All right, thank you.
Thank you, VP Walker. I see our bursar's hand is up, so I'm gonna allow her to speak and then we will jump back into the questions.
Good morning, everyone. All right, just a quick question, just a quick statement, because we have some recurring questions. So as it relates to registration fee, I believe that everybody is referring to the commitment fee, and that's $10,000. The commitment fee is paid before registration. Once the commitment fee is paid, please send confirmation to accounts@cmu.edu.jm. I will be dropping the email in the chat. Also, we'll be having our session tomorrow. So as it relates to any finance-related questions, I ask that you reserve those until tomorrow so we can wrap up this session. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much. All right, let's jump back into our questions. I see some questions in the chat about the meeting. Yes, the meetings are being recorded. Yes, they will be emailed to you. We will get those to you at the end of the series. So tomorrow is our last day in this series, and then after that session has ended, then you will be able to access all of the previous sessions. All right. Adina Borrell, you can go ahead with your question.
Learning. What I wanted to know is, how do I access the student portal? I am not able to access it at the moment.
Is it because you don't have the URL, or is it that you tried to access it and it gave you an error message?
I tried to access it and it gave me an error message.
Okay, so what I'd like you to do is to simply visit the help desk portal. You remember the URL?
Okay.
I'll put it in the chat for you right now. Right, and you can create a ticket, right, to say that you're unable to access it. Ensure that you put that error message in there, or a picture of the error message as well. And we'll take a look at it and get back to you.
Okay, thank you.
Right.
Awesome. Nyla, you can go ahead with your question.
Hello, good morning. I was going to ask a question related to finances, so I'll join the meeting tomorrow and speak to the bursar there.
Okay, no problem. Thank you. Lemuel Reed, you can go ahead with your question.
Good morning, everyone. All right, so I was a little bit late because I did not see the email on time, and I got it today. So I did register, I did sign up online, I created my account and thing. However, I applied online, and I was sent an email saying that the scanned documents weren't clear. I was given the option to rescan and send it to a particular email, which I have done more than 3 weeks now, but I have not gotten a response stating whether or not I am accepted, and I'm looking forward to that because I need to be applying to specific places for grants, etc., which is time sensitive. So how can I be assisted in this regard?
What they can do, just give your name, just put your name, just email us the information, and then we'll check to see what is happening, why you didn't get a response from us. So just shoot us an email at apply at cmu.edu.jm, include your name in it, and a telephone number, so at least we can get back in touch with you.
All right, thank you, Mr. Marriott. Stacy and Barrett, you can go ahead with your question.
Hi, good morning. My question is from yesterday. I didn't get to ask. I live in Westmoreland. I understand that I don't have to come to the orientation, but I can join online. And you guys said that you would take the names of the persons who joined online, right? And write it down to say that, okay, we were present during the orientation. However, when I pre-registered in July, when I did the registration in July, they said that I was supposed to come back on orientation day to take my ID photo. And also I heard that yesterday you guys said that the ID photos are only taken on registration dates. So I was wondering if it has to be on a registration date.
All right, so yesterday we said that you are able to take your photos on registration or anytime after. Not sure if you missed that, but you are able to take it on a registration day or afterwards. All right, so that's one. VP Walker's hand is up, so I'm going to allow her to speak.
There's a young man who has asked a question in the chat regarding provisional acceptance. We already indicated a while ago. I believe his name is Jermaine. So Jermaine, this is the response. I don't know why you are in provisional. I will assume that you are awaiting CSEC. So if it is that it is CSEC you're awaiting, once your results are known, and we have that information, once you meet the requirements for your program, then you will be given full acceptance. If it is not CXC that you are awaiting, then you may need to contact us, and the email address has been shared. All right? So you can, as it relates to the young lady who just asked about photographs, we understand that there are persons who may not be able to take the picture on the day because they weren't ready. And I know that with young people, you have to look your best to take photos. We recommend, however, that you take your photographs. So if it is that you will not be at orientation, I would recommend that on your first day or your first week of school that you seek to get the ID picture taken because you need your ID. For those persons who are taking public transportation, you would have heard that the minister, that they're rolling out a lot of school buses, the JUTC is working with schools, and in order for you to benefit from the rates, you're going to need ID. So you need to ensure that you have your ID. All right? Now, there are certain things at the university. I heard persons asking about access and so on. Currently, every student has access to the SRS system, which is the system that you use to apply for entry into the university. Please note that there are other provisions that you will not be able to access unless you have paid your tuition or you are on a structured payment plan, right? You will not be able to attend classes. No one will have access to our learning management software unless you have paid tuition. So some degree of tuition. So it's not the commitment fee of $10,000. The $10,000 is saying to the university that I have accepted the offer and I am committed to coming to the university. You will need to pay tuition. You will have to pay your fees, whether in full or in part, in order to access certain benefits. So I hope you understand. And if you don't understand and you need more information, you can drop us a line. We're going to be publishing straight lines that you can reach some of our representatives. So you can WhatsApp us or you can drop us a line. But we are here, and any questions that you have, we are available and we are ready to answer them. All right, so that you know what is expected of you when you arrive. I know that there are a lot of persons who are writing in the chat regarding dress code and all of that. I don't know if our Dean of Discipline, Mrs. Hibbert, has access to a mic. I would love for her to just give some basic ground rules, especially as it relates to orientation and so on, just maybe 2 minutes, so that the persons who are on the call are aware of what is expected of them, particularly as they come for registration and as they will come for orientation, which is next week.
All right, good morning, everyone. Tomorrow we will be making a very in-depth presentation as it relates to dress code for orientation and for school. But just to say that for orientation, we would really appreciate if all students come attired in their uniform. If that is not available, we are going to ask them to wear a white shirt, long sleeve, short sleeve, and a black dress pants for the orientation period. But please join us tomorrow. We'll be sharing the PowerPoint presentation with you. We'll be telling you all that is accepted, what is appropriate, what is not appropriate. So please plan to be online tomorrow. We'll answer all your questions and queries as it relates to grooming and dress code standards and requirements.
All right, thank you, VP Walker. Thank you, Dean Hibbert. All right, we're going to take some more questions at this time. I see David, your hand is up. You can go ahead with your question.
Let's see. Hello, good day. Just a question, and I do apologize. I wasn't part of the meeting yesterday, and I came into this meeting probably just 30 minutes after it already started. So I'm not sure if this was addressed, but this is just my person. I have my son. He has received a provisional acceptance letter, so we are pending his CXC results for and so forth. But just one outstanding question I have as it relates to boarding. I don't know if it was addressed, and could you give me some information, because that's the only thing we're a little bit unsure about, because he sent an email to, I think, housing at CMU. There was no response from it, and we tried calling the number. His mom tried calling the number, and I've not been able to get through it. I think she told me that she just ring. He didn't even bother to ring. So I don't know if I can give him some information about boarding. We did fill out the application online, and I don't know if his acceptance is conditional at the moment. It's provisional at the moment. It has not got. We have not gotten a response about the application for boarding.
Good morning, everyone. Now, application for boarding closed on the 30th of July, I believe. So all persons who had applied prior would have already received their acceptance letters. In addition to that, persons have been placed on the waiting list, and the waiting list says that if a space becomes available from those that we have already accepted, then individuals from the waiting list will be taken in order of appearance to be placed on the fully accepted list. Now, since boarding is already closed and you have said that you have submitted an application, I don't know when you did, we have an external boarding list that we are providing to all our incoming students for them to access housing within the Harborview and surrounding vicinity. So individuals may send an email to studentservices@cmu.edu.jm asking for that external boarding list to be sent to you. So at this time, boarding is filled because we have limited boarding spaces, and already many persons have applied for those, and we even have persons who were placed on the waiting list.
Thank you, Mrs. Walker-Brown. I hope that answers your question, sir. So please get in contact with the student services section. All right. Tajim Hedge, you can go ahead with your question.
Right. Hello, good morning.
Morning.
My main concern is in the orientation time. That's when we would be selecting the classes are being updated, which classes we should select, right?
You don't select classes, you're automatically placed in your class. At pre-registration, you would have received a form. So if it is for persons who have already completed the registration or pre-registration process, there is a pre-registration form that you would have received. That pre-registration form actually indicates your group or your stream that you are in. So you may be in group A, you might be doing logistics and supply chain management, and you are in year 1 group A or year 1 group B. The system automatically populates the subjects that you will do for the term. So at CMU, unless you have failed a subject or you are someone who left and is coming back to just clear, you don't select your subjects. The system automatically populates the subjects that you will be doing each semester. So once you have made payment and you have submitted the receipt and the Treasury has given you financial clearance, you will then be able to log into SRS and see all the subjects that you're doing for that term. We recommend to students you're going to have as part of your orientation an advisory session with your faculty. Please ensure that you get a copy of your program outline so you understand the amount of subjects that are required for you to successfully complete your program. I am recommending and I am encouraging students to monitor your own progress. If it is that you need to do 40 or 45 subjects over the span of 4 years, monitor yourself. Don't get to 4th year and be lining up to graduate only to hear that you didn't do a subject. All right, so plan your life. We have teams here who can assist you, who can guide you, but we encourage students to take responsibility for their own progress. All right, so you don't have to apply, sir. The system does everything for you.
One other question. I know that we can pay at like Paymaster, I think, but I'm wondering if we can pay it directly at the school as well.
You can, but we don't, if it's cash, we're not too inclined to take cash on campus. So if it is that you're paying via credit card, you can pay on campus. If it's cash, we recommend that you go to a Paymaster or a Bill Express to make the payment, because they send a list to us and it's the fastest way. I know people generally want to transfer money, and I believe you can probably transfer from bank to bank, but when you do that, you have to ensure that we get the necessary documentation, because the bank don't say, okay, Keisha Walker has paid this money, so we can go ahead and credit her account. We don't get that from the bank. You have to bring in that payment to us for us to apply it. When you pay at Paymaster, you pay at Bill Express, we get a listing of all the students who have paid on that day. So we can quickly add your monies to your account and give you clearance. So those 2 routes are actually the 2 best routes, aside from you paying on campus. And as I said, And I know Miss Nemard is probably in the chat. Whereas we don't run away from cash, as much as possible, we don't want to take big wads of cash at the university. So we always direct our students to somewhere that is nearest to them. Once you pay at Paymaster or Bill Express, you don't even have to send us the receipt because we will get that list from them. But we do encourage you to keep all payment slips. Don't throw away anything with money until you graduate from the university.
Okay, thanks. And I'm currently looking at like the pre-registration receipt from when I did it, but I'm seeing I did pay the commitment fee, but I'm looking for the receipt right now, but I'm seeing on the form it says unpaid.
On the form it's saying what?
It says unpaid. So I'm not sure.
Did you? I would worry about that, but did you ensure that the commitment fee, the thing is, the commitment fee is just you saying to us that you are coming. We recommend that you send the slip to the treasury. Why? Because once you come, even though it's a commitment fee, and if you don't come to CMU, the money is ours. If you do come, the $10,000 that you pay, if it is that your tuition is $200,000, they minus that $10,000 from you. So the only thing you would have outstanding to the university is the $190,000. You see what I'm saying? It is in your, so if it is, mind you, that slip is not the slip that you should worry about. The slip that you should worry about has to do with registration. The pre-registration slip for you is to tell you that you have pre-registered, you are in this program, you are in this group, but you are a legitimate student when you have paid your tuition and you have gotten a financial clearance from the treasury. So you'll get a bank confirmation payment. You'll get a confirmation slip that goes on your file to show that you are a registered student.
So once I pay it and I come to the orientation, they'll provide me with that, correct?
Right. Once you take it to them, because they can't give you clearance if they don't have it, So you need to take this information to them. I'm not sure if your account will be updated same day, but I know you'll get your receipt. They will let you know, because you can monitor that through the SRS. You can go online, because once you would have pre-registered, I think something is generated, an invoice is generated, you can actually track your finances through the SRS system. So everything that you need is at your fingertips. All right. You just need to know to maneuver the system. But you're going to be at orientation. We're all going to be there. So we are going to be there to guide you.
Okay, thanks. So it's the 24th to the 26th, correct?
Correct, team? I think it starts a Sunday up to the Tuesday, yes. So the 24th is Sunday, so yes.
Orientation starts on the 24th of August at 10 with a celebration service. Then we'll have the parent-spouse orientation that starts at 1 p.m. Then the persons who are boarding, the resident student orientation starts at 4 p.m. And then the official opening exercise for orientation is on Monday, August 25th. And we start at 9, but registration commences at 8:30 and we move through to 1. And on Tuesday, we have the Meet Your Faculty academic advising session that starts at 9 and that will end at 12. And then the student union lineman session starts at 3 p.m. on that same day. So orientation is Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. So the 24th through to the 26th.
All right, thanks.
Thank you so much, team. Nyla, your hand is up. You can go ahead with your question.
Good afternoon. Hello.
Yes, we're hearing you. You can go ahead. Afternoon.
So this is Nyla's aunt, but our hands are busy right now. So we did do a question in the chat asking about the CXC maths. She's concerned about if she is not successful with the maths, will it be, can she resit it in her first year of the college?
And this is going to be my last last response because I know my team is there. How many subjects is the student pursuing?
Hello, I'm pursuing 8 subjects, but I have 2 already.
All right, so the requirements for the university is 5 CXC subjects. Now, depending on the program that you're scheduled to go in, there are some other requirements. Now, if it is, can I ask which program you're looking at?
Logistics and supply chain management, Miss.
All right, so the logistics and supply chain management program requires 5 CXCs, including maths and English. However, the university does have a conditional agreement in place. If it is that you have 5 CXC, 5 or more CXC, but you lack one of the mandatory subjects, and this is for the shipping and logistics programs I'm telling you about. So for the students who are listening, don't believe that this is a blanket statement, because so for the logistics and supply chain management program, if it is that you have 5 or more subjects, but you lack one of the mandatory subjects, you will be accepted conditionally to the university, which is similar to full-time or fully acceptance, except that you will be required to do that subject, that outstanding subject, as a foundation course in your first year. And you have to sign to that agreement before we accept you to CMU. So when you come in, so if it is that you're unsuccessful in passing the maths, but you have 5 or more subjects, we will accept you. But please know that foundation maths will be one of those subjects that you will have to apply and pay for separate before you can apply for your college courses.
Okay, Miss, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much, VP Walker. Dominique, your hand is up. You may go ahead with your question.
All right, so good afternoon, everyone. So for me, I got an email that says I got a full acceptance, the paper that is supposed to be signed. I wanted to ask from yesterday. So y'all did say that we're supposed to sign this paper and bring it to the school, right? Even if it's a full acceptance, correct? Hello?
What paper is that? I'm not getting what you're saying.
So you know everything that comes with the medical form and everything, the paper that says the full acceptance that you have like the paper that tells you when you're gonna start the course, gives you your name, the course that you're doing, all of that. It says acceptance status, full acceptance. Then it asks for my signature and the date. I brought this paper to the school and they did not take it from me along with the medical form. They said they can't take it.
So were you registered or because you were short of document or so? You didn't get a chance to register or you were registered?
I would like to believe I am registered since I got all of these information and I paid the registration or the commitment fee.
So all right, let me guide you through that. All right. So the thing is that so that form they should have collected from you. So when we give you the registration data, you turn up on our campus and we check to see if you have all your documents available that we had asked you to submit. So once we check those documents, you will go through a process. So did you go through different decks?
No, the lady literally just need to come back August 21st or 22nd, something like that for the Mobile campus.
Oh, so you came to Kingston to do it and they told you to go to the Mobile campus?
Montego Bay. I live in Montego Bay.
But there was no registration for Montego Bay until the 21st.
Oh, so you only taking it registration day because I brought it in before and they turned me back and said they're not taking any of this.
All right, so let me tell you then. So we have our registration in Montego Bay. So what you need to do is just to come to Montego Bay with all of those documents, and you will be registered. So the medical form that you have, you need your original TRN, your birth certificate, all those documents that we asked for. So just come prepared with those documents, and you will be registered on that day, because right now you're not registered based on what you're telling me. And I'm not sure as to where the in terms of the miscommunication and so I don't know if it's on our part or on your part or what really happened, but we're sorry to hear what you have gone through. So we're saying that on that day, once you come there, we'll be able to register you.
So, because what had happened is I did all of this from early July, right? And I was just getting it out of the way when I brought it up to the school, and they tell me that they didn't do anything. They just tell me that they're not taking it from me and I should come back XYZ date.
Well, you could have registered here, so that's why I'm saying that I'm not sure. So what I'm saying going forward, since we have registration dates and we have one in Montego Bay, you don't have to leave Montego Bay to come here again, right? So you can do your registration in Montego Bay, but in order for you to do that, you'd have to have all those documents ready. So once you have all those documents ready, you'll be able to register when we get there.
Okay, thank you.
All right.
Thank you so much, Mr. Marriott. I think this is Lamar Dawkins. You can go ahead with your question. Your mic is open, but we're not hearing anything that you're saying. That's if you're speaking.
Are you hearing me now?
Yes.
Okay, I was saying that good afternoon. I'm using Lamar's email because I'm not home at the moment. I came up to the school and pay some of the tuition fee, not all, because I'm trying to do the payment plan. And I wanted to know that if I still have to send it to the email, even though I came up to the school and paid it there.
No, because you'd have gotten a receipt from the treasurer, right?
Yes, miss.
Right, so that's fine. They have the record because they have their logs. These are only for the students who are paying remotely. We're going to need those information. But you're fine if it is that you made a payment on campus.
Okay, then, miss, thank you.
You're welcome.
One more question. I wanted to sign up to see if I could get some help with fees, and they asked for a status letter. Do I have to apply for that as well, or do I find it on the SRS portal?
I don't know if you can apply for the service online as yet. If it is that you have gotten a financial clearance, it means that you should be able to apply for the request online. But if it is an urgent request, what I would recommend is that you write the apply email address, let them know that you're interested in that status letter. They will send you the form and the cost for the letter. The cost for the letter is $500. And they'll get that to you. You can email it back to us so that we can process the letter for you.
Okay, then, miss, thank you.
And if you weren't, for all the students in the room, if you were not present at the last meeting where they were talking about scholarships, please remember, scholarships are going quickly. We have scholarships in-house now that will close tomorrow. Another batch that will close next week. I urge you, if you're interested, I know that you may have some mommies and daddies listening in, and I know you could use a break. Encourage your kids to apply for scholarships, please. You can write scholarships at cmu.edu.jm for more information. Take advantage before none is available. Thank you.
Yes, miss. As you were talking about the scholarship, I was on PATH before. I did ask to get an email of the application. They sent it to me, but I was saying because I was on PATH before, and since I left sixth form, I wasn't on it anymore. Is it still okay for me to sign up? Because I went there and they gave me my number. and everything. So I wanted to know.
We have students at the university who are on path, and I know Mrs. Walker Brown is in the room, so she can give you some more information. But I believe that path extends to tertiary students as well. So you can find that out, and you can visit student affairs at cmu.edu.jm, and they'll provide you with all the information that you need. But the path program only covers a small percentage of your tuition. So I would recommend that if you're a Sparksy, yeah, and you believe that you want a scholarship, you don't want to pay anything out of pocket, that you apply for scholarship still. All right, it can't hurt. Better you have more money than less.
Yes, Miss, I did apply to some, so let's hope and see.
Good luck, my dear.
Just said
Thank you.
that pass applications are open until the month of October. I think this is the last date in October that application is open until, and pass provides university students who well, for returning students, they have to meet the GPA requirement, but for new students, you just need to submit your CXC results, and the institution will process you. So once you send the email to Student Affairs, they will send you the path application, or you can also access the path application at the Ministry of Labor and Social Security's website, apply and submit that to the Student Affairs at cmu.edu.jm. I think the email address was placed in the chat earlier, and PATH gives $100,000 towards tuition fee for all the persons who meet their requirement. Thank you.
Thank you, VP Walker. Thank you, Mrs. Walker Brown. We have Esther Francis. Your hand is up. You can go ahead with your question.
My question was that for the drug test, I think it takes a while to get back the results. I was asking that if it is that if a student comes and they don't have that drug test, will that student still be able to register or no?
So
What
it's
drug
not
test
a drug.
is there a drug test that is there? Is it a part of the medical team?
No, it's not. I think it's a form that you're talking about, but you don't have to do a drug test.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
The form that is there states that you need to sign it. It is a commitment, because if it is that the university, if while you're attending the university believes that you are helping yourself to illicit drugs, it has the right to send you to do a drug test. So that is what the form is for you to just sign it up to say that you're committed to following the rules of the university, and that you're not going to be using illegal drugs while on the campus or in uniform or anything like that. And if it is that you're suspected of doing so, the university reserves the right to send it to be tested.
Okay,
So you
thank you.
so you just need to sign it, and that is for your record.
Okay.
All right. Thank you so much again. We have a question from Tamar King. You can go ahead.
Good morning. Morning, everyone. Am I being heard here clearly?
Yes, we're hearing you.
All right. So I kind of sort of missed the first. Well, I didn't miss it. I got to go to the registration that was held previously, but because I did not have some certain documents, they told me to come back and next time. I don't know if it's appeared before, but I remember being told the 29th. I don't think it's the 29th based on the fact that orientation is what, the 24th to the 26th. I said the 20th. Whichever one. I saw the email, but I didn't look at it. So I was wondering what is the next registration period?
All right, so our next registration period is Monday, the 18th of August to the 20th. That's for main campus. And we have another registration, which is on the 27th and the 28th, which is the following week. So that would be right after the orientation.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Marriott. We have Jordan Maxwell. You can go ahead with your question. Hi, Jordan. Your mic is open, but we're not hearing what you're saying. All right. Still not able to hear you clearly. So you can either type your question in the chat or you can rejoin the meeting and see if that helps with the microphone issues. We have Trevon Roper. You can go ahead with your question.
Good afternoon, everyone. My question is, you guys are speaking about several different forms. I didn't receive any form that I should sign and bring to the school. So, and also another question about the email. We should activate our email. They already speak about that?
All right, so yes, we did speak about the email activation. You can go through the chat, or representatives from ODT have been answering questions about email activation in the chat. So you can go through if you've missed that. In terms of the forms, which forms are you referring to? Have you received any sort of acceptance, be it provisional, conditional, or anything like that from the university?
Yes, I have. I hold this, the forms underneath the email where the uniform and the acceptance letter, and there is also a medical form. That's all.
Right. Have you signed or returned any of those forms to the university?
No, because I'm just coming back to Jamaica.
Okay. All right. So I'll allow Mr. Marriott to respond.
All right, thanks.
All right, so the package would normally have that form that we talk about, the drug consent form that you need to return to the university. There is also a confirmation of acceptance form, but that is after you accept. So when you get your acceptance package, then there's a section that you have to press, right, to So when that the letter, a confirmation of acceptance will be generated right after you accept the offer, right? So that information will come in your email, and you'd have to print that information, right? And then you sign the form, and then you take it in on the date of registration.
All right, thanks.
All right. Thank you, Sir Marriott. We have Dana Page Rodney. You can go ahead with your question.
Good afternoon. Can you hear me?
Yes, we're hearing you.
I had a question about mentorship and stuff, because as a first year, it's a bit nerve-wracking, and I'm wondering if you guys peer students with an older student in that specific course, that sort of helps to help you to maneuver around campus on the first day and stuff. Because to be honest, all of this is very nerve-wracking right now.
All right. I understand that it can be a little overwhelming, and that's completely normal. I will throw that question to student services. So Director Walker Brown or any representative can answer that question. I know we do have like clubs and societies. We also have our university counselor that deals with things like those, but I will throw it over to student services. So Director Walker Brown or any representative, you can take that question.
I'm sorry, Donnie, do you mind repeating that question for us?
No problem. So she's a first year student and she just wants to know if there are any student support services for things like mentorship or being paired with probably like a fourth year student that is in her course that could help her around. She's going into first year, she's feeling a little overwhelmed, and she's trying to figure out if there's any kind of services that will help with that.
Thank you, Ms. Smith. Absolutely, we have support services here at CMU. We have at the counseling level as well as at the student society level. At orientation, we do go in depth with that. At registration, I'm not sure if she's had the opportunity to go to pre-registration, but these are some of the information we share. But definitely at orientation, we will go in depth with the respective support systems that we have here at CMU.
All right, thank you so much, Ms. Dennis. All right, I'm not seeing any more hands raised, which would indicate to me that we have successfully answered all of the questions in this session. Checking the chat. I think we have answered everything. All right, I saw 2 hands go up, so I will take those 2 questions and then we will wrap up this session. So Davian Gilchrist, and right after him is Matthew Peart. So over to you, Davian.
Question. Good afternoon, everyone. Do you have any part-time or job applications open at the main campus?
All right, so on campus, we do have an Earn and Learn program that is offered through the student services unit. Those application dates and requirements are usually sent to the emails, to the student emails. So when those become available, those are sent, you apply to the Earn and Learn program, then you will get confirmation of your acceptance. You will go through a little orientation and then you'll be placed in the different areas on the campus, and then you will begin. So we do have that available, but once student services is able to send that information to you when the applications are open and everything, it will be sent to your email.
Thank you.
No problem. Matthew Peart, you can go ahead.
Yes, good afternoon, everyone. I'm just I'm just calling to see in regards to the general election that will be happening the first week of September. I just want to know in what way will that impact CMU, as in will CMU be operating independently of the guidelines provided by the Ministry of Education, or will they adhere to them?
We will be adhering to them. Now, we will provide information regarding the election, the activities at orientation for you, but the Ministry of Education would have already sent out guidelines to schools indicating that on election day, there is no school. We can't jeopardize the life of our students and our staff. Plus, most of us are at voting age, so we will be going where we need to go to vote. All right, so we will be following the ministry's guidelines on that. Plus, we will be assessing the situation as it comes. So whereas we will be able to give you information at orientation, we are also going to be monitoring the situation leading up to election and afterwards. You know that we live in a society sometimes that can get volatile. So we are playing it by ear, but you will get information at orientation. So we are in compliance with what the ministry says and the government.
Okay, thank you. And another question in regards to the documents that are to be submitted for registration. So currently I have practically all my documents sorted, but there's just this one step in regards to the medical form that needs to be completed. So the blood count results won't be readily available now, but can the registration process be continued smoothly without the results at this time, or no?
When you say not ready at this time, what time frame are we looking at for the medical to be complete?
Roughly 2 to 3 working days.
Well, if it is 2 to 3 working days and you can't make registration next week, you can always register on the 29th. What we are having, we have a challenge. We have had a challenge over the years where we have allowed students to come in to complete the registration form, to complete the registration process, and without certain documentation in good faith. And what has happened is that when the time comes for these documents to come in, we cannot get them. It's like pulling teeth. So I would recommend to all students, we do understand that you have those students who are awaiting results who would not have done certain things like the police record, for those who have to do police record or maybe medical, who we may have to make some allowances for. Please note that any allowance that the university makes will be limited, because you cannot start school without documentation. We need all your documents on file for you to be considered fully enrolled at the university. So as best as possible, we ask students to come with your complete information, walk with your originals. If you can bring copies with the originals, that's good. If not, we can copy them on the day for you, but we ask that you walk with all the necessary requirements. Your acceptance package details all the items that you should walk with. Don't leave home, because we have a lot of students who hail from rural parishes. Don't come all the way to the Palisados campus to be turned away because your information is incomplete. Check with the list that forms a part of your package to ensure that you have all the documentation. All right? So that you can go smoothly through the process.
All right, thank you so much, VP Walker. All right, there are no more questions. So we are going to wrap up this session this afternoon. Thank you so much for joining us. I want to thank all the persons, the representatives from CMU who have been in the chat and who have answered the questions so thoroughly. I want to thank also our presenter for this morning, Mr. Mark Lee, who did the presentation on our learning system, our SRS platform. And of course, I want to thank you students for joining us this afternoon. Tomorrow's session is the final session in this series. It will feature our Deans of Discipline, who will talk about dress code, grooming, and all there is to know about our uniform section. We will also have the presentation from the Treasury Department tomorrow. So your financial related questions will also be answered then. All right. VP Walker, your mic was open for a little bit. I don't know if you want to say something before we wrap the session.
No, thank you. And thank you,
All
everyone.
right. All right, so thank you for joining us. We close here. Join us again tomorrow at 11 a.m. for our third and final session. Thank you so much.